Ours is a crazy place in oh so many ways. Let's try to make some sense of it on Spiritfolk Saturdays.
Welcome to the weekly fan and tip-based podcast, Spiritfolk Saturdays. Today we're here to talk about a whole bunch of episodes, but primarily episode 84, part 18 of The Gods Are Gone arc. I'm your host, Elfie, spirit of wow, this arc is getting long. Joining us this week are Raven.
Spirit of Scrabble!
And Pharaoh.
Spirit of Midgie Bites.
What?
What's a Midgie Bite?
It's like a small insect in Scotland. They're a bit like mosquitoes, but they're tiny and they don't carry diseases. But when they bite you, it itches a lot. And I was at work today and I was covered in them.
That sounds very harsh, and I am sorry, friend.
Thank you.
Alright, so I have a list. I want to start by sharing my episode title suggestions for 84 because I think they're all quite clever.
Go on.
When life gives you lemons, notebooks full of opinions, butter, lemons, and salt, and then just because it's cute is just poor baby ninja.
I mean, for the episode for this podcast, I think it should be just, wow, missed a lot.
It was only 2 weeks.
And yet, so much happened. You missed a war. Just show up 10 minutes late with Starbucks, why don't you?
Basically.
Actually, you showed up 2 weeks late.
Well, the war was over, like, those last 2 weeks, and then it just kind of settled down today.
Nah, technically the battle is over. The war is so far from over. They're just
You're
gonna
the
be
one
more
who
pissed.
said I missed the war. Shut up. Also, can you stop?
Hey, you're
whatever noise it is?
sounding a little bit salty there. Come on, that was a relevant joke.
It was, rather.
Barely.
Oh,
Barely
totally.
relevant.
It was completely relevant. By the way, I think we should...
I'd say that would be one relevant joke.
That's not even funny!
God damn it, Thero. Damn it, Jay, you just turned a letter into a pun that we're all going to abuse the shit out of.
One is not a letter.
I mean, son of a bitch. A number. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about letters, okay? Silence.
Why are you thinking about letters? Because Spell got released.
So excited.
Alright, so, let's see what happened. We missed there's 3 episodes to cover. There was Magic with Marcus, Kier Song, and the Fiasco Scream.
I think we've got so much to cover, maybe we should just cover the 3 episodes.
Well, I mean, the other stuff isn't necessarily long. Like, we can the Fiasco Stream is irrelevant to TI, so I mean, we don't really have to talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't really have notes, and I still haven't gone over and listened to the beginning of it. It just sounded like it was a mess, just like the rest. And while it is beautiful and fun to listen to, I wasn't really in the mood, you know.
The Fiasco Stream was a fiasco.
It was exactly what we signed up for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part was all the voices, honestly.
I think my favorite part was the murder at the end.
I'm really sad. I'm really, really sad because I don't think that poor little, at the end, psychotic dragon deserved to live an unhappy life. He should have just successfully eaten his foes and then flown off into the sunset to fix this. And not bothered with this Goblin Nation nonsense.
Well, you can always write the fix-it fic.
I'm not doing that for a one-off session of Fiasco. If I tried to fix every session of Fiasco, I would never do anything else.
If you tried to fix that single session of Fiasco, you would never do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like looking at a smashed mirror and someone giving you one piece of tape and saying, have at. You're never
Sounds like a fiasco right there.
Oh my god, go to the corner.
I'm already in the corner.
Go from the angst corner to the pun corner.
Oh, okay.
And then we got the like immediately after the podcast was Magic with Marcus, which was really interesting. I
I
didn't
have
take
no.
notes, so I'm not on
Me
the
neither.
ball here.
I just remember it was interesting, and then I didn't take notes.
I asked in the comments if the same rules apply to divine magic users because they just talk about magic, but they didn't really specify if it was arcane or not. But different rules apply to divine magic users, so that's good to know.
If it's like D&D or like just in any way similar, then Arcane has a penalty for armor that Divine does not. Not that anyone wears much armor anyway. For a Ven.
Yeah, but it's more about the difference between here mostly is the source. So
I mean, it's not like armor really does all that much. I mean, you've seen what it does for the Alorani guards.
Okay, the Alorani guards are not a proper example of anything, including armor.
I'm
It's
pretty
made
sure
of
their armor is like
literally
construction
cardboard.
paper, like spray painted silver.
It was actually stated to be cardboard or cardboard-like.
Okay, well, like the clan people all wear armor. They ended up massacred.
Yeah. And the people who do wear armor don't seem to wear it in like an intelligent way. Like Gregor wears armor, but that didn't keep him from getting his shoulder cut open.
I think it was the other shoulder.
Still, there's no armor on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And that hasn't stopped Ash from getting stabbed several times.
In the gut, yeah.
But yeah, Magic with Marcus is mostly just about magical terminology and stuff like that, which was really nice to hear because now I can fix Idian's Wikipedia page.
I forget that thing exists, I really do.
It's so great for art reference when I'm like, man, I don't want to go through an episode and have to find this one shot of characters. I just go to the Wikipedia page and it's right there.
Oh, that is quite handy. I usually just end up saving images to my thing. I have a bunch of ones of Ash for my cosplay, so... God, like, don't even get me started on what I've spent on that thing.
And we had Kier's song, which was entertaining.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was cute. Are we trying to figure out that stupid cipher and we think we have it, but we're not sure, and it's
I'm just sitting back and watching it all and going, okay. Because I know nothing about ciphers.
I am right with you, friend.
Ciphers are fun, but this felt more like cryptology. When we started it.
I wonder if it's like revenge for what you did to Jay.
What did Elfie do?
He didn't even bother. He didn't even solve it. So I mean, it can't be revenge. Also, Jackson wrote it. So we sent as part of Jay's birthday present. I sent him a code, and I said like if he deciphered it, he could have his birthday present early, but he didn't. It was it text translated into a Caesar cipher, translated into Morse
binary was in
code,
there somewhere.
Translated into binary, translated into the cipher language.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was revenge, and I'm really sure you deserved it.
You didn't even solve it. It's hardly my fault.
What about when you eventually solve it? It'll just be like a few simple words, and it'll just say "you're mean," or "I want my present."
I already gave it to him. Shut up. It's awesome. And ugly. But the thing is, I finished it like a month early, so by the time I posted it, I was like, man, I want to redo this now. And then we have 3 episodes to cover. Which are kind of...
We should probably go in chronological order.
I don't actually remember what happened in chronological order.
I do. I got notes. Hang on. Let me unlock my phone. So we got Kier and Gregor on a horse, Salvet in a wheelbarrow. Gregor has an obsession with calling things buddy. Marcus drank a dimension-shifting squid.
Right.
And then my notes just sort of descend into I really fucking love Dow, Berserker Horvin, and Kirlos.
And are these just the notes for the first one, or are these all our notes?
That's just for the episode 82.
So many things to cover.
Yeah. Alright, so you like this, Elfie. Zelvet in a wheelbarrow. Go.
It's cute. Poor Salvetta is just getting, like, he's dragged around in a wheelbarrow, awake for an episode, and then returns the next episode knocked out. Like, oh, okay. Poor guy.
He's like a sack of potatoes that can kill people.
That's
You
Innie
play-
and you. That's Innie and you goof.
I mean, no, I'm pretty sure they're the same person now, actually.
Salvetta is a sack of pomegranates, excuse you.
Oh god, Attack on Titan flashbacks. No. He would do so. No one give him 3D maneuvering gear ever.
Because, to be fair, like, he's, deadly and all, but he does not have good stamina.
No one give him that gear. Never. It wouldn't even be a fight. It would just be banned parts everywhere.
Yeah, you guys keep talking. I have no notes. I have notes on the most recent episode, but that's just, like, one word.
Alright, so the dimension shifting squid. That's, like, horrible to even think about.
Where do you even acquire one of those?
Well, apparently it's a tiefling thing, so I'm assuming wherever they get, like, hell spice.
Hell?
Or whatever it was called.
I like the idea of a squid that, like, jumps, like as it jumps through dimensions, is like it jumps into lava and then appears like on like an ocean and then jumps back and then reappears in lava, and they're really, really annoying to catch.
Yeah. You must have fun trying to catch those. And like he swallowed it and then it went into his brain. How does that even work? This isn't the sort of thing we should really be asking questions about, I'm getting the feel.
I don't think there's many answers.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the one that okay, what happened in like, where did 90, where did 82 end? So I can figure out where I'm supposed to stop talking.
Let me check.
It ended with I think it was with Marcus envisioning the perfect human, which was some sort of...
It was that, but for the rest of the party, it was as they finished up that first wave of ban. Kier was realizing the horrors that were war, and Gregor was seeming unaffected, just mentioning casually that he had seen worse, and going forward with Dow and Kier.
You think Kier would have seen worse too, considering he saw his entire country die?
I'm pretty sure he's just repressed that.
I don't think Kier actually took part in the destruction of his own people, though.
He would have.
This was a little bit different. He was in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Swinging weapons and all.
My favorite part of 82 was when the Vanguard attacked, and the four of them, like, imitated the Vanguard, and it was adorable and hilarious.
Yeah.
Just screaming. It was so great.
And then just that it went quiet for a split second, and then you hear Foss going, woohoo!
Yeah.
Adorable Faust.
Very. Episode 83 now?
Yeah.
If we're out of things to talk about.
We can always go back, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And did we cover what's going on with Ash and Inian in that weird fight?
They had like 5 minutes of screen time in 3 episodes, not even. I'm so annoyed.
What happened is indicative of a lot. Like the fact that Ash made a big deal of using the hand before, but as soon as she saw Inian, she whipped that fucker out.
She's having none of Inian's bull. None of it.
And I don't think
she's going to turn those potatoes into smash.
Yeah, she's about to make hash browns. I don't think it's fair for her to be like portrayed as not having tried at all to actually find some sort of spiritual peace, because that fight came to her and she really couldn't avoid it, you know? She tried.
Inian's doing cool shadow stuff for some reason. Oh, that was the thing I wanted to talk about, is that she saw... Okay, so we know that Inian met one, however briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Marcus does the shadowed, like, weaving. Um, are Indian new shadowy power things and one in any way related?
I was thinking maybe.
That
Like, I
was
don't
that was
think you can. I don't think you can spontaneously become a tiefling, but he might have been able to teach her some sort of spell, since I'm pretty sure witches can learn spells like that,
or something
can't
like
they?
that. Yeah.
Well, sure, even if they normally can't, Inian's pretty clever. She would have figured something out.
Oh, didn't she like once just sort of copy one of Marcus's spells by sight anyway?
Yeah.
So she could probably just have done it again.
Yeah.
Which means that one is pretty damn dangerous. Though, to be fair, he survived Game of Tieflings, so he would have to be.
Game of Tieflings, oh my god.
I can't take credit for that idea. That was Wrath. But yeah, Game of Tieflings. Either you play, or you sit on your ass for the rest of your life, or become a human.
So one of Marcus's ideal humans is Ash. And he goes, "These are the purest humans I know." And my immediate thought was, is Ash even human though?
I think he was focusing on the idea of humanity more than humans. Though, to
Well,
be fair,
he goes, "These are the purest humans I know." So
I mean, flashback to Meadshire. Is she really, Marcus?
yeah.
Like, even if we're talking humanity instead of humans, either way, I think you're bullshitting yourself a little bit.
It's like, and then he idealizes them as like tall and incredibly buff and also incredibly naked, before turning them into incredibly fancy Victorian people.
I think Marcus was just screwing around with the visualization thing. Like
I think he was just
a kid
yeah.
that just discovered the holodeck.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure he was just trying all the different ways he could possibly imagine to piss one off.
Like, one is trying to help you. Be nice, Marcus.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
last tiefling he met tried to eat him, so
Yeah, at the same time, it's kind of understandable that if Marcus doesn't trust him, he's probably not going to be straightforward with him. I mean,
Marcus isn't all that straightforward with the people he does
exactly.
trust.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna be more annoying to people he doesn't like or doesn't trust at the very least. Um,
Continuing on from that, ripping out someone's humanity appears to be incredibly painful.
yes, and
And judging from what Jay was describing, rotting flesh is involved. That's horrifying.
that's awesome.
Not really. Agonizing pain followed by your flesh rotting.
That's kind of what happens when you, like, I don't actually remember what happened. I don't know why I'm trying to say thank you.
It's maybe it's like a metaphorical thing, well, not metaphor, but like a descriptor showing that, like, I don't know, maybe his humanity is actively dying or something. I don't know.
Mm.
So when Kier goes up to like that dead body and goes, "I'm not gonna lie, it looks like Marcus did this," my immediate first thought was, since it cut immediately from Marcus screaming in pain, was that Marcus had mildly lost it, gone back as a full demon, and started killing people.
My first thought was that, like, he somehow shot, like, an I-beam through dimensions. Because admittedly, that'd be pretty awesome.
That sounds like the kind of shit he'd do.
He does have an interdimensional squid in his head.
Or, like, give a bunch of people mirrors and set them up around a battlefield.
Oh, he would. He would. It'd be like that Egyptian mirror trick from The Mummy. Except with, deadly light.
What were they called? The bears, the spirits, laser bears.
Bear bombs as
Yeah.
well.
Whose eyes are the cipher letter for the letter I, which is pretty cool.
Wow, Jackson. Sneaky.
I think someone said on Twitter that Foss made those.
Aww.
That noise was adorable. So yeah, we now have exploding spirit animals that, like, shoot lasers.
It's like the worst thing ever.
And this isn't a fantasy setting.
Laser bears.
When I think laser bears, I think, like, a bear wearing, like, metallic armor with a bunch of laser pointers on its back. But, like,
Yeah,
this is cooler.
way cooler.
That reminds me, when I was at camp, I mentioned Thrilling Intent once, and I was talking about how Marcus was wanted by all the tieflings ever. And my counselor started laughing because she remembered an email that her friend had gotten who works in IT. I don't know why I'm bringing this up other than it's funny. That, like, they got, like, an email from this person who was just, like, really aggressive and really annoyed and threatened that they knew all the lawyers ever and would be sending them after you if you don't reply in the next 5 hours or whatever. So she spent, like, the next 10 minutes laughing at the line, all the lawyers ever.
Oh my god. That almost sounds like an Alarani threat.
Right?
I know all the lawyers ever. Just like some random street thug yelling at another street thug.
By which he means that he knows the one lawyer in town.
Mm-hmm.
Because they shared a beer once.
One, the new Gregor pose makes me very happy.
That was my next note, yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff, so you tackle first.
There's also the new imp pose.
Yeah.
I actually found a while back, apparently back in Wizard High, there was a part where we got to see one of the imps flailing while Colvin was holding it.
Yeah.
Oh, missed that.
We really need to do that rewatch podcast special thing someday, eventually. Of, like, just going back and watching old arcs and commenting on them.
That'd be a good one to do. Alright, so, like, you know how Horvin kind of yelled out, "It's been a good year."
Yeah.
Right, is that some sort of joke I'm not getting, or is it just funny because it's just funny?
I think it's just funny because it's just funny. Just, like...
It's just absurd.
Okay.
It's the equivalent of, like, a power-up phrase, except it's just really random and spontaneous.
Well, maybe it makes sense because he was like, appealing to harvest gods. So
yeah.
It's been a good year, harvest gods. Come do my bidding.
It's still just really funny. That's just what he's shouting. I liked what Neffy said. Is he a magical girl or the Avatar?
I think he's, like, halfway between the two.
My claim when I was watching it is that he's the Avatar, because that's what it immediately made me think of.
He's the Avatar, except he's really shit at waterbending healing.
That wasn't waterbending healing, that was, like, dirt healing. Dirt and twigs.
He's mastered the lost art of earthbending healing, which involves stuffing rocks into wounds until they heal. Much like the lost art of firebending healing, otherwise known as cauterizing.
If there's one thing that I'm always going to call bullshit about in Korra, one thing I'm going to call bullshit on firebending healing.
Is that a thing?
They tried to pass it off as a thing, and I call bullshit.
Yeah, I don't understand how that could be a thing.
Because plot was needed.
There was so much Kier abuse in this episode.
Poor Kier.
He's such an abused little puppy.
Kier is just the example of the trope, kick the dog.
Yeah, he just embodies that trope, that poor thing. He just needs so many hugs and, like, actual gentle healing.
And treats and pets.
Yes, and all the cuddles ever. Ash's healing definitely seems to be gentler in comparison to Horvin's, but hers is definitely temporary from what she was saying, so I'm wondering how it compares.
It's gentler than Horvin's, but it's still not exactly, like, gentle in and of itself.
I mean, also, sometimes she'll do extra shocking, or she'll jam her fingers into the wounds when it's not necessary.
Like at one time with Marcus and Gollum, yeah.
She was just so done with his shit.
Just shut up, Marcus.
So you sat on his back and did it. It was great.
Marcus is such a little shit in this episode.
Oh my god, it was beautiful.
It was
fucking
amazing.
beautiful. Like, I think that the wait what from Jay there went for about a minute. Wait,
And
what?
it was like 5 seconds.
That summarized so many moments like that for so many DMs. Just those 2 words carried it all.
Yeah, I think he was genuinely shocked.
It was great.
It was amazing.
It's fantastic.
Bonus
It's
points
like
to
looking.
Matt. But yeah, I don't think Jay was expecting anything like that whatsoever. I think Matt just screwed over all his plans.
I think that's how that normally goes.
We
Well,
missed
yeah.
some quality angst there, man.
Yeah.
To be fair, I give Matt props for having such like a good handle on Marcus and how he would like handle that situation like in the moment.
Yeah. He did really well. So that's good characterization and understanding your character.
Yeah, motivation and personality and all that stuff is awesome.
Yeah, like after that long you'd probably be good at, handling your character, but still props.
And poor one who just is done with all of it and just stormed out.
At least they left a cup of coffee for him.
How do you storm out of a room that doesn't technically exist?
Well, he summoned like a door thing that didn't actually exist either, so.
I love that. It's just a door that doesn't technically exist in a room that doesn't technically exist.
I wonder how Marcus is going to get back from not technically existing.
That was what I was going to say next.
Aha!
I was gonna say the same way he got there, but the same way he got there was through a magic book and like a blood ritual. But who knows by this point?
Maybe he'll just go, gosh, I wish I was home and, click his heels 3 times and be out. I'm kind of glad they didn't dramatically change, he didn't turn blue or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the one hand, I know a few people who would have been very happy if he got longer horns and stuff.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think for one thing, Jackson might have killed Jay for having to redo all Marcus's art.
I thought it was just that his hair was going to turn a deeper shade of blonde or something just really slight. It still would have been a pain.
No, he just got a single grey hair and then burned it off.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I could do that to mine, but yeah, got too many for that.
You're just a far more spaced out version of Rogue, where it was Pride.
The funny thing is, right, that my cat is pure black aside from just random white hairs all over him too, so, we're at least matched. I think that's all of my notes for this one.
Then I have words about this week's episode. I have thoughts about parallels.
Oh, wait, I thought of a thing.
Dang it.
Just really fast. So this proves that even amongst divine magic, because Inian could have been referring specifically to arcane when she said how rare healing was. This means it could, even amongst divine magic, what Ash does is pretty fucking fantastic. Somebody else needed materials to do what they did, and it took far longer, even with materials and an incantation.
We don't know if it's not necessary, if it's not more permanent or something, though. I mean,
do we know for sure that Ash is actually temporary? She might have just said that to make it sound less impressive because Inian was drawing attention to it.
Well, she's done it. She said so, in the past, before.
She's screamed at people, she screamed at Kira, it's not permanent care.
Yeah, during Deck of Disaster. I'm having Deck of Disaster flashbacks. So yeah, it's not like she's just something she said off the cuff to Inian. It's been a fact before, so.
Okay, so you had thoughts of parallels.
Yes! So I always was like, oh, Grius and Honorin are parallels because they've got kind of the same leading up to what happened to both of them, where there was a huge war between humans and spirits, and it was all terrible, and lots of people died, and blah 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 blah. And then this episode, I was like, oh wait, Horvin and Kier are really good parallels because they've had, kind of similar upbringings, but the way that they view the world is still heavily skewed, even though that they have kind of, I don't want to say the same mentality. They've got like the same affinities, I guess. And then Horvin mentioned the serpents, that there was like a serpent that was disrupting trade. And I was like, hey, that
Yeah.
sounds familiar. And then he's like, oh yeah, and then we killed it and things didn't get better. And it's just like,
Well, see, I think the difference there is that the twofold problem here is one, that the humans that are present view spirit folk as, well, generally deserving of death even if they don't pick fights. And two, as sort of lesser, even while claiming that the spirit folk view them that way. And the other is the fact that the Ban are, at least in their core doctrine, if not every one of their members, very much believers in the spirits still being gods. And they refuse any violence, no matter how justified, as being right. Like, no matter how much that spirit folk needed to die, to them it's still against a divine being and therefore unacceptable. So I think that the Ban and the humans are why this is just not working. But hey, you know what? We just need to set off a slaughter, kill most of the humans. It'll work out. Worked out in like Shrouded Isles. Just give it like 20 years to reset.
that's kind of, it's a war where neither side is right. It's like,
Generally,
it's so black and white, and it's not, and it's, I love it. It's so good.
it's I believe it's called blue and orange morality.
I just want to think of Portal.
Or black and gray. There's also always black and gray morality.
Or grey and grey.
It also kind of reminds me that, the band kind of have what I guess the opposite of like Gregor's kind of thing is, where he views like, yeah, I don't want to phrase it as humans being more important, but his whole thing
No,
is
he does. He definitely does.
I don't want to phrase it that way. I know if I say it, you'll know what I mean, but I don't want to phrase it that way. But like, the definition of a monster is someone who kills humans that is not a human and doesn't have to. So like, spirit folk can be monsters, but in the opposite side of things, the ban are like, spirit folk. If it's spirit folk kills a spirit folk, oh well. But if a human kills a spirit folk, then they are terrible. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it's kind of understandable both sides, but at the same time, neither of you are in the right here.
Yeah, I noticed that parallel, honestly. That was the only like one that I really caught before, things started being pretty in your face about it. Was the fact that they are the anti-Gregor. And I would flat out say, dude, he definitely thinks that humans are superior to all other creatures. Like, it doesn't matter if other creatures are of equal intelligence or greater intelligence or what their thing is. He clearly puts humans above everything else in terms of importance.
I would go so far as to say that, yeah, they're important. He considers them more important to the point where I think if a thing happens where don't killed a human, then he would take out don't.
Yeah.
That got dark really fast.
But
Guess what I'm
that's
gonna
how
write
he
about
sees
later?
things. That's how he sees the world. That's how his morality is. That's how fixed it is for him, basically.
And then thinking about that, and further thinking about parallels and how Corvin dual wields two-handers, and how Kier has had no luck with dual wielding two-handers, has he considered a sword and a shield?
You might.
Because,
That would be interesting.
I mean, try out all the
how'd you not
styles
have
you
that?
can.
Except it was, a hollow shield, but still.
Yeah.
I drew that, huh?
Yeah, that was most of my notes were just going on about parallels, because I don't know, I think it's really interesting. And also, like, Horvin called Kier a kid, and I'm pretty sure they're, like, the same age.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, close in age, because 15 years ago, Horvin was in, like, a young adult, probably. So, I mean, like, come on, Horvin. He might be even slightly older than you. Shut up.
But I think in terms of mentality,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kier's young mentally.
Yeah, just, it's still kind of funny.
Yeah, very. I like that Gregor said that Kier was very important to him.
Mm-hmm. That was so cute.
It was rather.
Also, like, I guess Island Zeke is a thing now? That was, like, really weird and spontaneous.
I actually have a thing about Zeke I was going to bring up. He was missing the entire battle, I think. I don't remember seeing him
Yeah,
once.
he was.
And then he turns up with Zelveta after being gone the entire time. Is Zeke the band leader?
that would be really fucking cool. But I'm pretty sure no.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense for him to have for him to assign them to go kill Hyrethum then.
But at the same time, that would be so fucking cool if it was true.
He's like the better Horvin.
But would he be better? Would he?
Like, I think also Horvin would probably know about it, like, presumably.
Maybe Horvin
would
was
he?
covering. How the hell do you think Horvin got into the band and got them to trust him? How else if it wasn't like that the band leader was telling them he's cool, guys?
I love the conversation with Horvin, and he's like, yes, I am a student of learning.
Yeah. Just try to hide it, you know?
I love Horvin so much. He's so cute. And then poor Zelveta turns up and is unconscious, and I was like, oh. Like, about halfway through the episode, I was like, oh wait, what happened to Zelveta? And then like 2 minutes later, he shut up. I'm like, yes. Baby ninja. Baby.
When Kier said, "Oh God, they're blending together," I immediately thought it was just Jay going, "No, these voices are too
That was the
similar."
problem,
Help.
is that Island and Zeke sound very similar this episode, and just like, wait, which one was talking?
Yeah, that was. Dude, Jay first had an argument with himself, then had to do like 3 voices that sounded very similar, and then just like I think he gave up after a point. Like, there's a reason none of the NPCs talked. He could not take a single other voice. Man, he does a lot of voices. It's really freaking impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not that surprising. It's some of them sound the same a little bit at the time, but it's very funny when it happens.
I personally keep having the problem lately where I'm trying to remember Zelveta's voice, and mine immediately just does the Colvin voice, and I'm just like, no, you're not helping. Or I'll be like trying to remember a quote, and it will very specifically come out of the Colvin voice. I'm like, dang it.
The Colvin voice is so distinctive, though.
It's so great, but like, it's like I'm trying to remember that hoarse tone, because Zelveta's kind of got that, and then it just goes the wrong direction. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, for Colvin, it's like the truth kind of thing, and it's like I knew it was bad.
Colvin could be the next freaking Batman with that gravel.
Oh
my god, Colvin's Batman would be great.
I got Jay to read Curiosity, and when Zelveta says the truth, is just this like it's Jay doing Zelveta's voice imitating Colvin. And it's ridiculous and amazing. Just like this weird like squawk.
Wow.
Also, when I was on vacation and I was talking with Kappa, I couldn't remember their names. Like, I was trying to talk about Colvin, but I was thinking about Zelveta, so I said Colvetta. And then, like, Chad started talking about what that pairing would be like.
The last time we saw Ash, She seemed to have been swallowed by some sort of black dirt cloud thing.
Mm.
So,
That's it. I just wanted to bring that up.
yeah, we should possibly be worried. I mean, as much as it might be interesting, I really hope we're not going to come out to find that she's knocked out and Marcus has to save her from Indian. Because if there's one person that should never be damseled, it's fucking Ash.
Yeah.
She's not damsel material. She's the one who saves, like, not even the princess. She goes in and saves the knight who got in over his head. Like, oh my god, I swear, I turned my back for 20 minutes and a dragon's kidnapped you. What were you thinking? I thought I could save the princess. You thought you could? Yeah, right. Yeah, that was gonna happen. Go. Damn it, Kier.
Go stand in the corner until you've thought about what you've done.
Then she looks up at the tower and it's Marcus, waving, "Help me!"
Yes, perfect. See, now I'm just thinking of writing all that out, and at the end, Thog wakes up in a cold sweat and wonders what the fuck he drank.
Who put Kier in my drink?
Oh god, I just imagine like a mini Kier floating in his drink though.
Lord. Like one of those, the little figurines and you put them in water and they get bigger.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something about this and then I forgot because I got distracted by laughing at it.
I just realized something better
Yeah.
for that entire scenario. No, Gregor's the knight and Kier's the dragon. Kier's the dragon that turns out to just be really, really socially awkward.
Aww.
Gregor was like, oh my god, it's a monster, it kidnapped a princess, attack. Turns out Marcus just was hanging out with the dragon. He was chilling, they were talking about inventions and shit. It's all this huge fucking misunderstanding.
Aww.
Ash comes home with a shapeshifted dragon and her head in her hands and a hangover. Then Sog wakes up, realizes it's his hangover, and that he made poor life choices last night.
I remember what I was going to say is that the end of it's the end slate says there'll be monster episodes to come, and I'm like 85% sure he means like literal monsters. That's something to look forward to. So we do know that Giancarlo gets wrecked.
Yeah, Jink, it'll include some of the submitted monsters.
Hopefully, we haven't seen a lot of those.
Okay, I'm curious to see what other people have sent in. I haven't sent anything in. I keep meaning to, but I never do.
I've sent in like a dozen by this point. A lot of them are just like things I started sketching and gave up on, and were like, maybe someone could do better with this than I can.
Wow.
I have the most horrible feeling that if I, doodle things to send them for monsters, most of it would just end up looking like dinosaurs right now.
I just remembered this weird idea I had, and I don't remember like specifically. I don't remember how I would have led up to the joke, but I remember the punchline, which is just like, I kept thinking that Horvin was like his family was like maybe his mother's father was a spirit, and so I had like this like sudden idea of like what would Horvin look like if like one of his parents was a spirit, and I got this mental image of him with like big Telvillian like antlers with like leaves sprouting from them.
Oh god.
And then I was like, okay, what other spirits do we know? And then I got this mental image of him standing beside Charles, and he's like, I resemble my mother more.
Wow.
I take after my mother, don't look at me like that.
We've gone from baby Charos to Papa Charos.
Exactly. So,
Papa Charos, because he goes, Papa Charos, can you read me a bedtime story? And Charos just looks at him.
And death screams, like shrieks, and the entire aisle shakes.
His son drifts to sleep to the sounds of the damned.
The death bells ringing.
Aw, that's actually weirdly cute.
Right?
Oh. And just before he drifts off, he goes, I love you, Papa Charos. And Charos just stares at him.
Silent stare.
Mm-hmm. And then inclines his head in a nod.
Or like when he's younger and can't sleep, the child picks him up with his tail and like rocks him, and they go surfing. This
Yes.
is so random but so cute and also just really, really weird.
Sometimes we're allowed to be. This can be the Honor Universe section.
Alright, any other AUs or theories or headcanons or what have you?
Sek as the band leader should probably count as an alternate universe, really. It's probably not all that likely.
Can we just have like an AU where the cast is the band? Because I drew Bad Ash and I'm still disappointed it's not a thing, even though it doesn't really make any sense anymore.
What if they were each a foe from a different stage? So Marcus would be shit. Wait, okay, we've got the Golem arc. We've got Wizard. Marcus would actually be working at Wizard High.
Well, the thing is, like, would they be like a faceless character? Or would they be someone important? Or,
Oh,
like...
if they were faceless, then Marcus would be a faceless cultist. Gregor would be an Allarani guard, and Ash would be a ban. If they were like high ranking, then Marcus would be like the leader. Marcus would replace Max. Ash would replace maybe Horrivan. He's working both sides. It's weird. Or Ash would replace the band leader, and Gregor would replace the guild master. Oh dear lord!
Can Gregor be the new Thog? I already wrote like a role reversal AU, but like role reversal is still an amazing thing in this universe, like any situation, because it's just what happened if.
Wait, no, Gregor would replace Afton. But instead of drinking and partying all the time, the paladins never actually do any magic because they're too busy training. They don't even go out to fight shit because they're too busy training to actually fight.
Instead of being like passed on the floor from being hungover, they're passed on the floor because they work too hard.
They work till death.
They're basically just work. Their two states are sleeping and working out instead of drinking and partying.
Yes. The only reason Gregor would ever consider golems is because they never have to stop working out.
Yeah.
He would have like a really. He would really, really hate the rabid golems, though.
Oh yeah. Monsters! And he would kill them.
Mm.
He might have to go up to him and go, surrender, and get half his glaive bitten off first, though.
Was there something else I was going to talk about and I forgot?
I was going to say, if you ever get like the top tier for Patreon, you could totally, like for the little mini session, you could, tell them to do role reversal.
That was the thing I was thinking about, wasn't it? Dang.
Oh, I know what I'm going to ask for. I just need to remember to send the email today.
I wanted Fat Bed for my birthday, but then all the slots were taken. I turned 17 in like 13 days.
God, I can't even remember what the hell I was doing at 17. Probably something stupid.
I think I was at high school.
I was hitting people with foam weapons. That was what I was doing.
We did that at camp this summer.
I ran an activity like that at the camp last summer.
I already told the story in chat about how we overthrew an economy with it. Like, that economy was based around kids just hitting each other with foam weapons, and then one of the bats broke. Like, a foam bat broke because they were they were abusing it too much. So while I was away for the weekend, they apparently bought a bunch of foam, like, sturdier foam and, like, rods and tape, and made, like, bigger, better weapons. Like, there was, like, a hammer that was, like, taller than I am. And dual swords and, like, daggers. And I was just like, what did you guys do this weekend?
Fun. They made fun.
Yes, apparently.
But hey, at least no one died this time. From the fun.
Okay, camp counselor AU.
Oh my God.
Is reluctantly in charge.
No, would he be in that case? Wait, would all the people be like? Or no, he would be actual faculty, and they would all be just like the interns counselors.
Mm.
Kier is way too enthusiastic.
Kier actually tires out the kids. Also, he makes the weirdest shit in arts and crafts, and the kids end every session with "We promise not to tell you lit it on fire."
Well, if it's like the camp I went to when I was younger, then he could just be the arts and crafts counselor. And Ash teaches nature, and Marcus is like music or something.
Gregor does all the physical activities. Marcus does the theater section.
Oh yeah, drama. That would be
God,
entertaining. When we did drama, the 2 years we had it, we did like a musical. At the end of camp.
now I'm thinking, who was it who wrote the thing where Marcus, the drama teacher, just
That
like
was
stops by, to be like, "Hey Ash, really fast, need your help. Need to show the kids how to do an on stage kiss." What?
I believe that was Kappa.
I think that would probably come up at some point in this. When Ash complains, he's like, "Fine," grabs Kier, does it with Kier instead.
Someone's parents complains, I'm sure.
Someone's parents complain. Thog just like could not give less shits. He's like, "So why do you want me to complain? Or why do you want me to fire them? Because they're exposing our kids to unholy influences," or like some absurd shit. Okay, so I'll make you a deal. I've already paid him for the whole rest of the summer. So if you can find me someone to take his place who won't need any training and who will do it for free, sure, I'll fire him.
Or he does that thing where he's just like, sure, and then they walk away, and then he just turns to Marcus and holds up a hand and they high five. Anything to get the parents out of his hair, honestly. We want to do what everyone thinks will happen next episode, although we kind of like half know. Because it was kind of leading into it with.
I think there's going to be some drawing.
Yes.
Not that that was obvious at all, though.
Yeah, and we'll find out what happened to Zelvetta, that he got saved by Zeke.
No, and he's totally not the band leader at all, no.
I am definitely curious as to who the band leader is, because it's probably a Spiritfolk? Probably.
Just watch, it'll turn out to be the Bell Ripper.
Yes, he's been leading a secret double life this whole time.
My first thought for some reason is he's like Nega Batman.
I don't know that, but it sounds funny.
That's not even a thing that exists. That's just the first thought in my head. It was like he is the opposite of Batman. Like the Negachin from from Fairly Odd Parents, who's the opposite of the Crimson Chin.
Not the Negachin.
Raven?
I'm here, I just don't really have anything for that.
Okay. I guess we'll have an extraordinarily short episode. Or not extraordinarily, but surprisingly short, considering we're covering 3 weeks worth of content. We just don't have anything to talk about.
We just managed to talk a lot in a short space of time.
Yeah.
I'm just happy, I guess, that Kier isn't what I was worried he was going to be. I was thinking at first that he was against the ban because, the ban killed everybody I care about. Or not the ban, but spirits killed everyone I care about. The ban represents spirits here, so I'm against them. But instead it was like he treats humans and spirits equally. He has the issue with the ban because they're attacking humans. I think if it had been better represented to him the way in which the humans slaughtered the spirits, he might have even started siding with the ban. I think it was partly how it was presented to him.
I like that line about how anyone can be a jerk or anyone can be a bully of any race. Like, he's like, oh, well, I was friends with the spirits and they were still pretty terrible. Like, they threw rocks.
Yeah.
But I'm friends with Ash, and she throws knives sometimes. We're still bros.
That was adorable!
That was a great line.
That was so
Yeah, but I'm kind of saddened by the fact that she apparently throws knives at Kier.
I don't think they meant at him specifically. Like I said, she throws rocks, and then Gregor said, yeah, and she throws knives sometimes. I don't think they necessarily mean at him. I think they just mean in general.
Well, I hope not. The knife throwing, I mean. I hope the knife throwing isn't true.
If you'd like to listen to more episodes of the podcast, you can find us at spiritfolksaturdays.tumblr.com. If you want to join the TI Skype chat, feel free to shoot us an ask with your Skype name. We'd be happy to have you. Thanks for listening. We'll see everybody next week. Bye!
Bye!
Did we do what we expected next episode?
Yes!
Oh, I was
And
out
then
of
you
it.
said you didn't have anything else to talk about.